Thank you.
Are we ready? Thank
Yes,
you.
Board Chair.
The regular meeting of the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees is now called to order at 9:32 a.m. Today's meeting is being transmitted via live stream from the district's website, www.collegeofthedesert.edu. President Kenneman, will you conduct a roll call?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez Chaidez.
Here.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Present.
Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Present.
Trustee Young.
Yes, present. Student trustee, since I understand today is your birthday, correct?
Yes, it is.
Would you honor us by conducting the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of course. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954 2B2, the board may take action on items of business not appearing on the posted agenda upon a determination by 2/3 vote of the board, or if less than 2/3 of the members are present, a unanimous vote of those present, that there is a need to take immediate action and that the need for action came to the attention of the local agency subsequent to the agenda being posted as specified. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda for the August 14, 2020?
No, Board Chair.
All right. Okay. Hearing none, the agenda stands confirmed as presented. Approval of regular meeting minutes. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the regular meeting minutes of July 16th, 2020? Hearing none. There are no corrections to the minutes. They stand approved as presented. Public comments. In accordance with Executive Order N-25-20 and guidance from the California Department of Public Health on gatherings, remote public participation is allowed and being accepted by email to otp@collegeofthedesert.edu and read into the record during public comments. There is a time limit of 3 minutes per person. Julia, I understand we have a public comment.
We do. Would you like me to read that now?
Yes, would you please read it?
Yes. To our respected board members of the College of the Desert Board of Trustees, last year, your board joined all 9 Coachella Valley cities land the Torres Martinez tribe by passing a resolution to request that the Salton Sea Management Program work to prepare a seawater import solution for the Salton Sea. A year later, this very significant valley-wide unanimous resolve has gone without action. Despite a significant amount of unused funds allocated by the state for restoration work at the Salton Sea, no dollars have been dedicated to engineering work that is a prerequisite to move seawater import options forward. The Salton Sea Coalition comes to you again for a follow-up resolution, more specific, that restates your previous position and that ties a specific dollar amount to it. Added in this resolution is a specific request that $2 million of the unused Salton Sea funds be immediately applied for a comparative engineering review of the ocean water import proposals you advocated last year and that were accepted by the state in 2018. As Board of Trustees members, you know that for any project to move forward, the engineering must be done. This is true of new road and even a new stop sign. A comparative engineering review of the water import projects is what is required to bring about the comprehensive analysis of ocean water import that you requested last year. The estimated cost of the comparative engineering review is $1 to $2 million, and it will take 1 to 2 years to complete. A total of $507.5 million unused and available funding for restoring the Salton Sea is sitting on the shelf. Please reference the attached chart. This means our taxes have been and will be paying high interest rates while bond funds go unused. Meanwhile, nothing gets built and dust exposure increases, endangering tourism and local residents with health problems most vulnerable to pandemics. Why not put the $1 to $2 million of the $507.5 million to work on the engineering and move a real step closer to the future building of the Salton Sea Aqueduct? We know from history that aqueducts bring the promise of health and prosperity. Once the engineering is done, all that will be lacking to begin construction will be coming to an agreement with Mexico and deciding how to fund the project. Some communication with Mexico has already taken place on a local level. Now we need federal assistance to start pursuing formal negotiations and cooperation between local, state, and federal governments to develop a funding plan. Your college can play a critical role in moving ahead the process of bringing life-saving water by passing a resolution requesting the funding of an immediate comparative engineering review of ocean water imports. Please forward your resolution to SSMP managers Arturo Delgado and Lisa Lean Mager. Thank you, Salton Sea Coalition.
Thank you, Julia. No others were received?
We received no other reports.
Thank you. Okay, we will consider that item. Next to public updates, President Chinaman.
Yes, I'd like to introduce Carlos Maldonado, our Director of Student Life, to introduce the student who will read the Proclamation for National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, board members, executive cabinet, Mr. President, and guests. I'd like to introduce Larissa Chavez today to introduce the proclamation for us. Larissa is a student at College of the Desert. She currently serves as the student trustee and has been involved in student government for 2 years. She's a communications major and she hopes to transfer to Cal State San Bernardino at the end of this year. She serves as a president's ambassador for the college and also serves as a student worker in the president's office. Please help me welcome Larissa Chavez.
Hello, good morning. This is a proclamation for the National Hispanic Heritage Month. Whereas Americans of Hispanic heritage have a sophisticated ancestry which dates back hundreds of years, exploring and settling in our country before the War of Independence, and where they brought them a deep commitment to family and community, a strong work ethic, and an unwavering belief in the American dream. And whereas in a nation that derives so much strength from our cultures and races, Hispanic Americans are a thriving force in our society and a vital part of our economy. And whereas let us reflect on the countless ways in which Hispanics have contributed to our nation's success, and let us reaffirm our commitment to expanding opportunity and building an even brighter future for all. Let us embrace the diversity and strengthen us. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and students take this opportunity to honor Hispanics for their many valuable contributions to this great land. And be it further proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District are pleased to recognize September 15th through October 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you, and happy birthday, Student Trustee Chavez.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to share some exciting news related to our district general obligation bonds. The district recently sold $60 million of bonds and $33 million of refinanced bonds at historically low interest rates. This will save our local taxpayers millions of dollars in borrowing costs. For new bonds, our total borrowing rate is 1.765% and 2.12%. for the refinancing of existing bonds, which will save our taxpayers more than 30% in interest costs. In addition, we had several new institutional buyers who wanted to buy our bonds. One buyer in particular will only invest in what they see as the top 10 bond offerings in a state market. During the bond sale, our bonds were oversubscribed by 6 times, which means that for every bond we had for sale, we had 6 people in line to buy them. Normally, this would mean that the competition would drive the rates down even lower, but many of the bonds we sold were at nearly 0%, so rates couldn't get really much lower than that. Also, Fall Flex is scheduled to begin the week of August 24th, and we will be fully online. Donna Green has done an outstanding job preparing and organizing all the sessions, and she's got some great keynote speakers. On Wednesday, August the 26th, I will be giving my State of the College address. Now, at this time, I'd like to ask Vice President Dr. Annabelle Neary if she could share with us how some of our faculty and staff have adjusted during the pandemic.
Thank you, Dr. Kinnaman. As Dr. Kinnaman stated, faculty and staff have innovated to serve our students and each other during the pandemic. Faculty and staff in the Child Development and Education Department and the Child Development Center created a book club to discuss works that look at child development and education through an equity and social justice lens. The group began meeting this summer and plans to continue into the upcoming academic year. Another innovation is one of our faculty members met a colleague from Northern Virginia Community College at a diversity seminar recently. The 2 faculty members have held Zoom meetings with the students enrolled in their diversity class at COD and a speech class in Northern Virginia. And then the classified staff in the Child Development Center worked as teaching assistants in the child development and education courses during summer term. They also served as embedded tutors and seasoned practitioners. Additionally, the staff devised a program to serve children and their families who were participants in the special needs program practicum course, benefiting the children with special needs, their families, and COD students in the practicum course. Then our faculty in communication and humanities have made creative use of Zoom for pedagogical and social support purposes. Faculty have gathered virtually to share their online instruction approaches and best practices. Then students in digital design and film created films and posters on life in quarantine, with many focusing on home as the theme. Faculty also created short videos to share their experience of life in quarantine with each other. And then mathematics and sciences, instead of having whiteboards in the classroom, they created 2x3 whiteboard screens for faculty to use as backdrops during Zoom sessions, facilitating the instructional piece and replicating the classroom setting as much as possible within the online environment. Then our faculty in the sciences and applied sciences have made extensive use of document cameras and videotaping for labs as a replacement for face-to-face instruction in these hands-on areas. And even funner, our biology faculty plan to use chicken hearts purchased at local grocery stores for demonstrations in human anatomy and physiology courses this fall. In addition, to ensure healthy living, kits have been shipped to kinesiology and athletic students so they can participate in at-home workouts. And then our librarians and library staff have transformed library services so that we can serve our students' needs virtually and they can continue to access the important academic support that our library has to offer. And that's it. Thank you, Dr. Kinnaman.
Thank you, Dr. Neary, and that concludes our public updates.
Dr. Neary, thank you for that update on delivery of instruction. Written reports that were submitted to the Office of the President will be incorporated into the meeting minutes and posted online. If you have not sent over your written report, please do so before the end of business today by emailing Julia Breyer in the President's office. Julia, how have reports come in?
Yes, Board Chair, we've received reports from Academic Senate, the Foundation, CSEA, CODA, and Asphalt. If anybody is looking to view these reports, they have been uploaded under written report 6.01 on the August board agenda for viewing purposes.
Thank you. We now move to reports from the governing board. Student trustee, Chavez.
Hello, good morning. Dr. Kahneman, fellow board of trustees. During this past month, I attended our first Asphalt meeting. I got the opportunity to get to know some of the new members and also see some members from last year coming back to work with us. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to working with everyone and seeing the great things that Asphalt could do. I know this year will be full of new experiences and we will learn a lot of new things that we have not applied before, but I'm really looking forward to working with everyone and learning more about working online and just to be able to communicate more with students. Even though we're online, we'll look for ways to communicate with students and see what their needs is and how we could help make their experience better as well. And that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm informed that Trustee Stefan will not be joining us today, correct?
That is correct, board chair.
Thank you. So Trustee Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be very brief. First and foremost, I'd like to wish our student trustee, Larissa Chavez, a very happy birthday. I hope it's wonderful despite the all things considered, you know. And then I'd also like to thank all the faculty, admin, and classified staff for making this next school year possible. We thank you for all your efforts and commend you for everything that you've done. Students and instructors, suerte, good luck. We'll be here to support you, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's it for me.
Thank you, Trustee Perez. Trustee Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wonder, looking at the board reports here, our board policy lists the Alumni Association along with the other areas that we've heard from today. And so I'd like to know if we can have the an Alumni Association report added back into the monthly agenda with the list of the other reports. So Mr. Chair and Dr. Kinnaman, if you'd kindly let me know the status of this request for next month. And really would like to thank everyone for going beyond their scope and answering the call, the extra hours, the additional distance education training and adjusting to this new normal and leaning on each other, kind of pivoting yourselves to give our students not just the book lesson, but also keeping the human connection, that human element going. And many thanks to your families, you know, for their sacrifices in assisting you all, you know, moving the classroom to a different environment, which may be in your own homes. So everybody's family really deserves a thanks, and it is true that it does take a village. I also look forward to participating in Flex Week and want to recognize Donna Green for all of her work in putting that together. I've also seen the weekly ads in the Desert Sun from the foundation, and really bright, big ads using different foundation board members and students to highlight the student success. So if you get a chance, please take a look. It seems like there's one every weekend from one foundation board member on some student success story. So really great job, foundation, in getting the word out about College of the Desert. And also would like to recognize the Friends of the COD Library. As you know, they've not been able to do any book sales. And when the college physically shut down, so did the book room. But thanks to the generosity of Hal Rover and his storage facility on Joni Drive here in Palm Desert, the Friends are back in business. They're collecting and boxing donated books and even selling bags of books. And it's being done with everyone following the health and safety protocols of masks and gloves and social distancing. And so through their tenacious chair, Marge Dodge, it's been good work for the Friends. So thank you all so much. And by the way, a bag of books is $5. That concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Trustee Sanchez Fulton, and I'm wondering in your remarks if you have to make about our loss in the Congress.
Yes, thank you so much, Chairman. I appreciate the time during this uncertain time. First and foremost, I want to wish Larissa a very beautiful, feliz cumpleaños, Larissa. It's a special time on your birthday, so enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to attending Donna Green's new normal Zoom Flex schedule. I looked at the schedule and it looks robust. And I really do hope that all our faculty staff attend these Flex schedules during Zoom time. It's a different time, but the effort and work the team has done and Donna Green's leadership in this, I really appreciate that because it takes time during this new Zoom Flex schedule. Having been a College of the Desert adjunct business instructor, this is a new time for us during Zoom Flex. I've never attended a Zoom Flex and I'm looking forward to attend the many workshops. As a Latina, as a first gen and daughter of immigrants, I'm very happy to hear that our College of the Desert Community College has taken a position on Hispanic Heritage Month. So very pleased that our district is pushing for that and have a resolution. Part of my presentation is to talk about a resolution that we would like to bring forth on the passing of an iconic, a hero, a civil rights leader, John Lewis. Chairman John, is this something that you want me to read?
Well, any resolution would have to be for our next month's meeting, but if you have comments that you would like to make, it would certainly be appropriate.
Okay. During my, is there a way I could, I would love to make the comment on a resolution on that, but I have it written down. I would love to submit that to the board. And the comment I would like to make is that I hope our district does a resolution in the future for the passing of Congressman John Lewis. Other community colleges throughout the state have done so, and it would behoove our college to do that type of resolution on a historic, a civil rights man, an American hero for our country. Thank you. I would love to present that in a later time. Part of my report, Chairman, also just want to mention is that as a member of the California Community College League Board of Trustees, I attended 2 workshops entitled Managing Budgets During Uncertain Times. These are monthly budgets that the California League produces. And I do hope that my fellow board members could attend any of those California Community College League webinars. If you need more information, please let me know or let Julia know so you could attend and be abreast at these timely webinars that our California Community College League presents. The one that I went yesterday was very timely on our budgets, and I will be submitting that report to Julia, an update, and to my fellow board members. At this time, I'd like to give a heartfelt condolences to my friend, Mr. Beach. Also, having taught at Coachella Valley Unified, he was very instrumental to me because he mentored me as a new teacher. So I know that we will be doing that, but I personally want to thank and give condolences to him and to his family. Also want to give a condolences to Trini Lopez, an icon. Trini Lopez For those that don't know, If I Had a Hammer was a good friend of mine, and my condolences to him and to his family. A very, very dear icon here in the desert. This ends my report. As always, I want everyone to be safe. I want to give kudos to our beautiful faculty that are resilient. You guys have done such a beautiful job. I've gotten emails from my constituency telling me the timeliness of when you return calls. I want to just let everyone know about our app. Please go to our app. It's wonderful. I just want to thank our faculty, our staff, our classified, and our whole Roadrunner family on their, just helping us throughout this time. Thank you, and this ends my report.
Thank you. Community meetings continue, although continue in a form. This past week, I was a guest and speaker at Palm Springs Realtors annual monthly meeting and asked to do an update on College of the Desert. And the questions were quite lively and quite extensive, including what will be the status of the Jack in the Box. So many people who were interested as to what's happening in Palm Springs, and was well attended and very interested group. Also this week, I was most interested in a CVEP report that was distributed Wednesday on internet in our community. And one of the conclusions is something that we should all be aware of and work for. And let me read that section. It is internet service with the proportion of the population under 18. The places with high concentration of school-age populations have some of the lowest numbers of households with internet service and broadband service. And this remains a challenge for us. With overall, the numbers might look good, but when we drill down to where those numbers are, we have a significant number of our population, our school-age population, that does not have adequate internet service to meet the challenges of today's learning. And speaking of which, a friend of mine who is a public school teacher in New York City forwarded to me a long statement, essay written by a parent in New York City. And even though it applies to K-12 in New York City, it has some really interesting comments. And I'm only going to read one paragraph because I thought it was very on target everywhere. It says, our schools should be national treasures. Our teachers should be revered. Our children's education should be our highest priority. The future of our country is in the hands of our educators. They are not the enemy. They want things to go back to normal just as much as we do. We must recognize the incredibly hard position our schools are in right now and respect that they are making tough decisions with immense pressure from every single angle. I think that was so much on target, even though it applies to New York City schools, K-12, it applies to us as well. We need to be thankful and appreciative for teachers on all levels for meeting the challenge that's facing us. President Kenneman, do you have remarks?
Yes, Chair, thank you. Earlier this week, we distributed our first media report. This report contains information on advertising, marketing, public relations, and social media campaigns for College of the Desert. Moving forward, these will be sent out on Tuesdays. Also, at our last board meeting, we brought an action item to award a contract for the asphalt and paving services for the Fred Waring entrance. We had received 5 bids, 2 which were local, and one of the local firms was awarded the project. And that concludes my remarks.
Thank you for bringing that information back to the board, as we wanted to have that information, not only on that contract, but on future contracts as well. Thank you. Moving to consent agenda, all items on the consent agenda will be considered for approval by a single vote without discussion. Any board member may request that an item be pulled from the consent agenda to be discussed and considered separately in the action agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? And please remember to identify yourself when making a motion in a second.
So moved. Trustee Mary Jane Sanchez.
Second, Aurora Wilson.
Thank you. There is a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? President Kenneman, will you conduct a roll call vote?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez Chaidez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Aye.
Trustee Yount.
Yes, motion carried unanimously. Moving to action items, we move to Board of Trustees, item 13, board meeting date, second reading. Do I have a motion to approve the board meeting dates as presented?
So moved, Trustee Perez.
Is there a second?
Second, Aurora Wilson.
Any discussion? President Kenneman, will you conduct a roll call vote?
Yes, sir. Student Trustee Chavez Chaidez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Aye.
And Trustee Yount.
Yes, motion carried. Item 13.02, amendment to emergency resolution number 081420-2, authorization needed to take any and all necessary actions to prepare and respond effectively to the novel coronavirus COVID-19 by the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees, declaring emergency conditions exist at the College of the Desert. Do I have a motion to approve the amendment to emergency resolution number 081420-2, authorization needed to take any and all necessary actions to prepare and respond effectively to the novel coronavirus by the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees, declaring emergency conditions exist at the College of the Desert as presented? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you. Discussion as to the amendment to the emergency resolution. Trustee Sanchez, you were involved. Do you have a discussion?
Yes, I do. I want to thank my fellow board members for allowing the executive board chair, Adjunct, and myself to revisit the emergency resolution for the benefit of our district. It was, and I really want to thank Bob for helping us out and the team to look over our resolution. This is a very timely resolution, and thank you so much, Chair Adjunct, for taking your time to work on this.
Mr. Chair, I have
Trustee Perez?
Yes, I have a question, and I'm sorry I didn't get to ask this beforehand, but how does this affect what was outlined in the classified employees report, the CSEA report, where it would, they outlined a few different things that the emergency resolution is helpful towards them, such as leave and other things of the sort. Will this affect them in any sort of way? Because we don't want to have, I think, any unintended consequences to do so. Can anybody answer that question?
Can you address those issues?
Yes, that is an excellent question. I did go back and review the MOUs that we have with our bargaining units, and I see no impact.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Wilson, you had input. Do you have comments to make?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to thank the board for revisiting this item. You know, when we first did this back in March, gosh, that seems so long ago, we were all concerned on how this was going to work, and we were asking a lot but with the effort, training, and a lot of help from each other, we are moving that mountain called COD. It's important to cite a start date for the actions of COD relative to this pandemic, which we initially did. That was March 13, 2020. But it is also equally important to provide how our actions will come to an end so that we can return to some sort of sense of normalcy. You know, a little bit of research with other California community colleges that adopted emergency resolutions includes similar language that was proposed in this resolution. And so I also want to thank Keith Prouty for his CSEA report, which does include some statements on the emergency resolution. But, you know, I feel like I need to clarify that this is not about putting an end date. I have no idea what that end date is. And I agree with him that, you know, it would be premature, but this is about who exercises that authority, not about when. And who that is your elected body, the Board of Trustees and the governor. It is not the college president. It's not the county superintendent of schools. It's not the chancellor. It's this Board of Trustees and or Governor Newsom. So that's why we have put that information back in there. And we also needed to return some language that was in the original draft of the resolution that I thought at the time was an error. And that wording included the county superintendent of schools. That wording, it didn't make sense given we are a community college. Well, that language is actually part of the public contract code. So it's law and we can't change the law. So that language has also been restored into this resolution. My only question though, Mr. Chair, has to do with the last sentence of this resolution. It states passed and adopted this 14th day of August 2020. Well, you know, it really was passed March 13th, 2020, when all of this started. So I am wondering if it could instead read passed and adopted March 13th, 2020, comma, amended and adopted this 14th day of August 2020. So I don't know if Bob, our attorney, is here, but that would be my offer.
Let me refer that to Carlos. That sounds like a parliamentary consideration. Carlos?
And yeah, sorry, I was on mute. So the legal ramifications I've referred to Bob, but in terms of procedure, that you could amend that because it's not substantive to the document. So
right.
It would just be a procedural change, but the legality I would defer to Bob.
All right, this is Bob Hardreese. Yeah, there's absolutely no problem with that, making that a amendment to this resolution.
Thank you.
So, Carlos, do we consider that a motion to make an amendment and then ask for a second?
Yeah, I think that would be a fair first step.
Is there a second to that amendment?
Second.
Thank you. And Carlos, we would then vote on the resolution with the amendment. That's all we need to do.
So right now, the item on the table is the amendment. So you would discuss if people have any comments on the revision. And if that's accepted, then it amends the whole, and then you would vote on that. So there's two votes required.
It's two votes?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a discussion on the amendment proposed by Trustee Wilson?
Discussion, Trustee Sanchez Fulton. I appreciate Aurora for putting that amendment in. When I was doing the research for all the best practices of all the community colleges throughout the state, I think what you said was timely on giving the actual date. Being more specific for us is very, very important. And I do appreciate the comments you made. And to just add on, it's for who is the board member, what are roles and our definitions of actions. It has nothing to do with the classified. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, Trustee Wilson, would you state restate the amendment and then we'll vote on the amendment?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The amendment would be stated as such: passed and adopted March 13th, 2020, amended and adopted this 14th day of August 2020.
Thank you. President Kenman, would you conduct a roll call vote on the amendment?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez-Chaidez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez-Fulton. Trustee Sanchez-Fulton.
You're muted.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee Yant.
Yes, motion carried. So we will now have discussion and vote on the amendment, on the resolution as amended. Is there any discussion on the resolution as amended? All right, President Kenman, will you conduct a roll call vote?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez-Chaidez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez-Fulton.
Aye.
Trustee Yant.
Yes, motion carried. Moving to item 14, Senior Citizens Organization Representative, Member at Large, West Valley Representative reappointments, and appoint student representative to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. Do I have a motion to approve the Senior Citizens Organization Representative, Member at Large, West Valley Representative reappointments, and appoint student representative to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee as presented?
Discussion?
Do I have a motion?
Oh,
So moved.
Go ahead.
And who is
So
that?
moved by student trustee.
And do I have a second?
Second.
That was
Trustee Fulton.
Sanchez-Fulton. Thank you. Okay. Before we begin discussion, who is our current board representative to the bond committee? Is it Trustee
Oh, it's
Wilson?
me. I'm sorry. Yes, it's me,
Yeah.
me, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Just want to be sure everyone knows who I represent. Is there any discussion on this item?
Just want to make sure, I want to thank all the representatives that are this volunteerism to help our oversight committee, that it's open and transparent when they are applying. I have a question to Joel. When will their terms end? Are there any openings? Are we going to be advertising for it? Thank you.
Yes, I believe the maximum is 3 terms. I'd have to go back and look at the bylaws, and these individuals may be on different cycles. There are vacancies that we are going to be advertising for. Actually, there's going to be several that we'll be advertising for.
So is it going to be advertised in the newspaper?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
There's very strict guidelines on how you advertise and recruit for being a part of the oversight committee. And then those come back to the board of trustees.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? President Kenman, will you conduct a roll call vote?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez-Chaidez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez-Fulton.
Aye.
And Trustee Yant.
Yes, motion carried. Item 16, Human Resources. Agreement between the Desert Community College District and the College of the Desert Adjunct Association. Do I have a motion to approve the tentative agreements between the Desert Community College District and the College of the Desert Adjunct Association as presented?
So moved, Mr. Chair. Trustee Wilson?
Second, Trustee Perez.
Thank you. Discussion on this item?
Good work, President Kinnaman. And many thanks to the Adjunct Association as well.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, President Kinnaman, will you conduct a roll call vote?
Certainly. Student Trustee Chavez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefan. Trustee Perez.
Sure. Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Aye.
And Trustee Yant.
Yes, motion carried. If there are any future agenda items, please submit those to the board secretary, and they will be incorporated into the meeting minutes. Before the board moves into closed session, I would like to close today's meeting in memory of Dr. Chauncey Veach. It is with a heavy heart that I share with you news of the recent passing of well-known Coachella Valley educator and advocate, Dr. Chauncey Veach. A dedicated teacher and champion for underserved populations at the local, state, and national level, Chauncey was named National Teacher of the Year in 2002 by President George W. Bush. Prior to moving to the desert in the mid-1990s, Chauncey served in the U.S. Army Infantry and the Medical Service Corps for over 20 years before retiring in 1995 as Lieutenant Colonel. At this point in his life that he began his second career as a teacher at John Kelly Elementary School in Thermal and later at Coachella Valley High School.
Yes.
Ever an advocate of student success, Chauncey believed his role as an educator was to be that of a dream maker, inspiring thousands of students to pursue their educational goals. He was a tireless advocate for early childhood education and supported the college and its students in a number of ways, including serving as the honorary chairman of the foundation's One Enchanted Evening fundraiser, with all proceeds benefiting College of the Desert early childhood education programs. In his letter encouraging people to support the event, he praised the program, saying that it serves as a model for educational practices in early childhood development, and that the McCarthy Center was a marvel to behold. It was an honor for me to share the stage with Chauncey as a guest speaker during the college's 2010 commencement ceremony. And knowing Chauncey for many years,
Yeah.
I know that his work will live on and continue to impact future generations of students. And so today we close our meeting in honor of this very remarkable educator and friend of all educators. At this time, the board will recess to closed session. The screening portion of this meeting will conclude. Should there be any reportable action, I will report to the board secretary, which will get incorporated into the meeting minutes and posted before the end of business today. It is now 10:20, so we will reconvene in closed session in 15 minutes today. I was asked to make the break a little bit longer, so we will reconvene at 10:35. And thank you all.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. Stay safe.
Thanks, Carlos.